Are we attempting live again?
Attempting live again.
Says that we're live again. I don't know if anybody was here before and we were live. Welcome back. If we weren't actually live before, there we are. Hey, there we go.
Look at us.
Hey, we're back. So I'll recap what we tried to talk about before when we thought we were live and maybe we weren't live. And I think we trashed that video. Anyways, yeah, Yellowstone Barrel Pick coming in 2 weeks. Email went out yesterday to do a pre-sale. First 50 people to go onto our website, buy a bottle of Yellowstone, are going to get a complimentary Glencairn glass branded with the Wachusett Wine and Spirits logo so you can enjoy that Yellowstone properly. We sold half of the bottles already in the first day that that email and pre-sale was up. If you're not on the email list, you can go right to our website, look for Yellowstone. You're looking for the pre-sale package. You can buy the bottle now, have it all paid for. We will notify you when it comes in. The estimated delivery date is 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Super pumped.
Yeah, we're so excited about it here.
I can't wait to see that bottle.
It's delicious. This one is not going to stick around long. I promise you, when you taste it, you're going to want to come back and buy another bottle right away before it goes. Father's Day coming up in June, so it's going to be perfect timing for that as well. We're going to have a lot of great whiskeys on sale for June. We mentioned it already. Russell's Reserve 10-year. Old Forester is going to be on sale with some other stuff as well. Our barrel of Rebel should be in before Father's Day also. And yeah, quick recap. We tasted, I have to keep looking up, Buzzard's Roost. 100%, not 100%, but their rye, small batch rye, single barrel rye, those are coming in tomorrow. Corsair Dark Rye coming in tomorrow. Old Overholt 114 coming in by the end of the week. We're not stopping, people. Lots of great whiskey coming in. We're not stopping. We're going to be back on Saturday doing some really, really cool stuff. We'll announce that at the end. For people watching us, this is awesome. So yeah, we're here to talk about Dewar's. It's Whiskey Wednesday. We're showing some love to Dewar's, one of the most important brands in all of Scotch. And this is where we kind of make that distinction between a brand and a distillery. So Dewar's is a brand started by John Dewar and his sons John and Tommy in the 1840s. They opened a market in Perth, Scotland, where they're selling single malt scotches. Eventually they would start to blend their own scotches, come up with their own signature blend. Eventually, in the 1880s, a whole bunch of really, really cool stuff happens for these guys. One, they hire a master blender, because they're not distilling their own stuff, they're blending. So you need somebody who knows the art of blending which barrels to kind of get the right signature taste. His name is A.J. Cameron, who also kind of perfected what is known as the double aging process. So not only do they take different single malts and different grain whiskeys and blend them all together, they then take that blend, put it in a barrel, and age that a little bit longer. So when you see double age on some of these, that's what that means. But they're basically just making Dewar's what would be known as white label. A couple other things that happened in the 1880s. They create their signature blend, which is the same blend they're using to this day, pretty much, with a few little tweaks. They also build the Aberfeldy distillery.
Okay.
Which is sort of the only distillery that they actually own. And then in the last, 10, 15 years, they've started to bottle single malts coming out of that Aberfeldy distillery with the 18-year Making Whiskey Advocates Top 20 last year. Yeah. We've had the Aberfeldy 12. We've tasted it here before. It's fantastic. It sort of tastes, well, it definitely tastes like Dewar's. And it is the dominant whiskey in the blend. The other really cool thing that happens, 1897, I do believe, which coincidentally is the year the Bottle and Bond Act happens in America.
Yeah.
Dewar's is credited with creating the first alcohol, maybe even the first film ad ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in 1897, you can actually look it up on YouTube. It's an ad known as the It's Scotch ad. It's kind of weird. It's a bunch of guys dancing around in kilts and black and white. But they were innovators. They've always been innovators. When John Dewar died and passed the business on to his kids, they set about really kind of redefining how blended Scotch could taste and how it was marketed. It was the first brand to really be marketed worldwide. Obviously, the first one to have their own TV commercial before I think there was even TV. I don't know of any references to TV in the 1890s, but they had film ads back then. Dewar's has become a global phenomenon. If you go to Japan, where their sort of big drink is the highball, Scotch and soda, Dewar's is the Scotch of choice in Japan for Scotch and soda. And when we taste it, you'll kind of see that it really does lend itself to that.
Yeah.
Over the years, they've added things like a 12-year expression, a 15-year expression. They have an 18-year expression. We just sold the 25-year off the counter. And then they have a whole lineup that we don't actually carry called the double. So it's actually aged in 4 barrels.
Yeah.
So it's aged, double aged, and then double aged again.
Damn, that's wild.
They're really pricey. They're really rare. They come in $3.75 or pint bottles. And one of those actually made Advocates Top 20, I believe, the year before. And that kind of brings us to what we're actually going to taste today, which is the newest innovation in the Dewar's lineup. And it's what they call the smooth lineup. In Scotland, you could only age in bourbon barrels or sherry barrels. You weren't allowed to age in certain types of barrels. And they kind of relaxed those laws. And what we've got here now is, try to get them in the right order that they kind of released. The first one they released, which was kind of natural, is the Caribbean Smooth. So it's Dewar's, the signature blend, aged for 8 years, and then finished for 6 months in rum barrels. Then they came out with the Illegal Smooth. Now, Illegal is a brand of mezcal that we don't carry. So this is aged in mezcal barrels for 6 months after that 8-year age period. And then the newest to the lineup, which is the Portuguese Smooth. So again, aged 8 years, that double-aged process, finished in Portuguese port barrels. Now, they don't really tell you where the barrels come from, probably because they get them from a bunch of different places. I can tell you that Dewar's is owned by Bacardi, so any brands that Bacardi may own,
That's probably where it's coming from.
Bacardi owns Illegal Mezcal.
Okay, yeah.
Bacardi obviously owns rum, so these could be Bacardi barrels. They own a brand called Santa Teresa out of Venezuela. Could be those barrels. It could be a combination of the two. Who knows? And I'm not sure what Bacardi owns for port, but I'm sure they have
Some ties.
somewhere to it. So what I'm going to take you through, and have you tasted any of these?
I've had the white label. And I think I might have had I think you've had me try this.
The Caribbean.
Yeah, but I have not had the other two.
So I just want to do a little taste with the regular Dewar's white label. Just so we kind of see what the base flavor is.
Yeah.
And sort of what we want to do is assess, like, are these good? Do they kind of carry the Dewar's flavor through? And what does each barrel finish add to the flavor profile? Dewar's white label, which has been around since the early 1900s as a brand with that style label, is a blend of 40 different single malts and grain whiskeys.
I'm not a Scotch drinker, so like the nose on this compared to like bourbons and stuff is just wild.
Yeah, it's a totally different thing. The Aberfeldy kind of shines through to me in that like the honey floral notes in there, but that smokiness is coming from somewhere else, either Royal Brockla, Altamore, Devron. Yeah, they're definitely blending something a little closer to Islay in there for that little bit of smokiness.
Yeah, I mean, ever since we did that mezcal video, I mean, I'm starting to open up towards the more smoky flavors and stuff. So you got to reach out. You got to try new. You got to try new things.
I feel like the smokiness is like a sweet smoky too.
Yeah, it's not like it doesn't smell like something's burning. But it's
no, and it's definitely not peaty. But there's definitely a smoky element to it. And I've had many of these Dewars and soda with a little bit of lemon in there. They're pretty delicious. I mean, even if you don't like the flavor, there's still a lot of flavor there.
No, yeah, 100%.
And for what you're paying for a $7.50, which is relatively inexpensive, it's definitely worth the money. Something historic. And again, if you taste that and you can think of it in context of some seltzer water and a little bit of lemon in there,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, that would work awesome.
it's kind of a crushable summertime drink. Because sometimes bourbon's a little heavy to be drinking out.
Yeah.
When we're doing Sunday Fun Day and it's 90 degrees out.
So I got a question. Scotch, how does the proof points? Does it vary, or is it usually around the same?
It's a good question. Typically, so minimum has to be 80 proof.
Yeah.
And minimum aging has to be 3 years.
Okay.
Whereas bourbon,
Okay.
there's no minimum age.
Yeah.
To be Scotch, it has to be at least 3 years old. Certain ones will dance around 86 proof.
Okay. So I know bourbon's pretty much all over the place.
Yeah.
You go from 80 to 126, stuff like that.
A lot of these are 80 to 86. Some, like I know Lafrogue Lagavulin will kind of do some cask strength stuff as well.
Yeah.
But even the cask strength, I see it like 116.
Okay, so they're not going as high.
Yeah, I don't see it hitting that 130. And a couple of reasons. They're going to barrel at different proof points than bourbon is.
Yeah.
But they also don't get the heat over there. Like it
it
never really gets above 65, and it never really gets below 45.
So it's
It's a long, cool, and that's why, Scotch will go for 12 years as sort of a baseline, just because it can.
Yeah.
A lot of bourbons, as much as we've tasted some great ones, aren't very good once you start to hit 12, 15, 18, 20.
Yeah, it loses the bourbon.
Yeah, it loses the bourbon,
characteristics.
and you're getting more wood notes, wood tannins. What's interesting with Scotch, at least with the Diageo stuff, is, they age their stuff typically not in new oak. So, like, using barrels isn't new to them. Typically, they would use sherry barrels, port barrels, or bourbon barrels.
Okay.
But they would dismantle the barrels. So take the rings off. Now you've just got all the staves. They palletize those, ship that whole pallet over. When they get to Scotland, they're taking the staves up. They're rebuilding barrels.
Yeah. So using the same staves, it's kind of keeping that flavor profile stuff inside of it.
But you might not, like this stave and this stave might not have originally been in the same barrel.
Okay.
Like once you break them down and put them all into a pile, you're rebuilding a puzzle, so it may be different pieces. What they then do is they re-char the barrel. So if there's bourbon kind of sitting there, you're re-cooking that there.
That's cool.
But again, by that same token, it's not that hot, so you're not getting that sort of charcoal influence, you're not baking it, and that's why these are lighter in color. I mean, 8-year bourbon would never be that light.
Yeah, no.
And also, they're allowed to add caramel coloring just so it looks almost age appropriate. So this is the Caribbean Smooth. So again, 8-year-old Dewars, finished in Caribbean rum barrels. That's dangerously easy to drink.
Yeah.
That rum brown sugar.
I was reading the notes, like, I literally do get some banana on there.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
Yeah. Some banana, some pineapple, some brown sugar, some molasses. But I feel like the flavor of Dewar's is still there, too. Like that little bit of smokiness.
Yeah. It's definitely
that
there.
sort of honey, flower. And I guess the point with that is, like, if you like Dewar's, but you're afraid, like, oh, I don't like this is still going to taste like that, just with a rum finish to it. And again,
that was excellent.
This is it's under 30. I want to say it's even under 25 on the shelf.
Yeah.
They're very, very accessible price-wise and flavor-wise.
Yeah. I'm very curious about this mezcal. When I read illegal, I didn't realize it was an actual brand. I thought it was just like saying illegally.
Yeah, I don't know
and
why.
they spelt it wrong.
Yeah. I'm not sure why we've never been pitched on the illegal mezcal.
Have you had it personally?
I have not. Again, double aged, finished in mezcal casks. Herbal flavors, little wisp of smoke. I guess I'm not sure because I've never had the illegal mezcal.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to like see what we're looking for in this.
Yeah. And when we did the mezcal tasting a few weeks ago, like some of them are super, like
smoky.
burnt rubber, chemically, like fire.
Yeah.
And some of them are just
Toned
sweet
down,
and soft. So
burnt bacon.
yeah.
Well, I'm definitely getting some of that mezcal in there.
Yeah. I don't remember that from the last time I tried it, but I'm getting like that agave kind of flavor in the back now.
When it first hit my palate, I didn't. It was more towards the end, on the back.
Yep.
That was great.
Yeah.
2 for 2 so far. From what you told me earlier, I'm assuming we're going to go 3 for 3 here.
Oh yeah. The first thing I noticed about this when it came in is if you look at that color.
Yeah, it's much different. You can tell it's been in port barrels.
Yeah, it's reddish almost. Like,
yeah, it's like an amber.
Yeah, and I know like the label's red, but that liquid is red. And you can even see them like lined up, kind of in a spectrum there, like that. Just
that's
much.
Another question: what does this symbol mean?
So is that the 3Ds?
Oh, is that what that is?
Those are actually 3Ds for the father and the 2 sons of the Dewar's family.
Now. I didn't see that before. I thought it was like a.
Yeah, again, so we love bottles that tell a story. So this embossed right on there. It's on there a couple of different times. Those are actually 3Ds kind of interlocked. And what almost looks like a Celtic
that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, but this is from Scotland, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a very sort of Celtic look to it.
And those are those the 3
These, no, these are actually just medals that they won. Gold medal in London and in Paris and in Edinburgh.
Nice. That's a sharp looking bottle for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's probably the most awarded Scotch whiskey in the world.
Yeah.
And when you think of like the big names of blended Scotch whiskey, It's basically Dewar's and Johnny Walker.
Yeah.
And then everything else. It's kind of like seltzers. There's White Claw, there's Truly, and then there's just everybody else. Plenty of other good ones, but 1 and 2 are heads and shoulders above.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
3 through whatever.
1 million.
Yeah.
Literally.
So I'm definitely getting those darker fruits, some of those grapier notes.
Wow.
That to me is my favorite. It's sweet, like candy.
Yeah, I'm literally still sitting there on my tongue. Candy.
Like to me, with a good cigar, like, that is fantastic. And again, for the price, under $30, 8-year port finish. I've had some other port finish scotches, and they're far more expensive.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to call out any brands, but we've got a couple of different Caribbean finish, which was kind of a new trend. We saw actually Glenlivet, Glenfiddich, these guys. All are great, but if you're curious about what a rum finish will do to a blended scotch, start here. If you like that, step up to like a Glenlivet or a Glenfiddich.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a bourbon drinker through and thin, but this is. It's nice to step out of your comfort zone and try something new. Because I mean, you can definitely find something. I mean, these 3 are definitely a good starting point for sure.
Yeah, I feel like some night we should do Dewar's Caribbean, Glenfiddich Fire and Cane, and Glenlivet Caribbean Reserve.
Okay.
If we can ever get them in stock to do the 3 rum finishes. So yeah, Dewar's. Showing it some love. Fantastic. We sell a ton of this. Like I said, these are new. Wanted to give them love. They're delicious. I had to actually buy a new bottle of this. Yes, I buy my own product. Nobody gives this stuff to me. But as you can tell, I've been hitting these pretty good.
I think the mezcal one might be my favorite.
Awesome.
Which is weird to me, but I mean, I love that flavor.
All right, well, we're here. So we're going to throw a little bonus in.
Those glasses are sick.
Yeah, I like those. So new product just came in today, made by the fine folks at Molson Coors, which used to be Miller Coors. Getting into the seltzer world, which everybody who has access to a canning line is making a seltzer. But what piqued my curiosity, what got me to ask to bring these in, these are actual spirit-based seltzers. So your Trulies, your White Claws, a lot of those are distilled sugar, fermented sugar based, malt based. We do have the Founders, which is agave based. These are truly spirit based. So there is a vodka seltzer, there is a tequila seltzer, there is a rum seltzer, and there's a whiskey seltzer. 100 calories, 0 sugar. There is a little bit of juice in it, but it's made with actual, I love they put real barrel-aged whiskey.
Fake barrel-aged.
Yes. So this is whiskey and soda with a little bit of blackberry and lemon. These just walked in the door today. I requested them because I was curious about a whiskey soda with 0 sugar. And these are called Proof Point. So if you come in the store, they're down by the RTDs. We'll probably end up moving them over next to like the High Noons and the canteens and things like that. But again, these are using actual whiskey in the product, actual rum, actual tequila, and actual vodka.
It smells great.
It smells like blackberry and lemon.
Yep.
And it hits all the points. Like I said, 100 calories, 0 sugar, 5% alcohol. I get a feeling these may end up at Sunday Fun Day.
I'd say so. Right when I saw them, I was like, I know what I'm bringing next week. If you're looking for like an actual, you do get some of that whiskey in there. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's light.
Yeah, it's very light.
What I would expect for,
yeah,
you know, only 5%. So it's not a 50-50 whiskey soda blend. But yeah, it's tasty.
Yeah, I like these a lot.
And for the money, worth every penny. And they don't taste like some of the seltzers we taste. The flavoring kind of has that fake stevia, chemically.
Yeah.
Artificial
you can tell this
sweetener.
is like real.
Yeah.
For the most part, at least real.
The fact that this is room temperature too, like.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say.
These coming out of the cooler, crushable. Yeah, that's a winner. Now I'm curious to go out and try the rum ones and the tequila ones and the vodka ones as well. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up from here. Saturday, we're gonna be back by sort of request. I had a fun one for us on Saturday. And by the way, this video will get posted to our website. There'll be a blog written about it, kind of explaining a lot of the info that we gave out. There's links to the product, so you can go right to our website, buy the product, set it up for curbside pickup. We'll all be there. Saturday, we're doing cocktails on Saturday.
My toes, dude.
We're going to be working with bitters.
Nice. Oh yeah.
So we're calling Saturday 6 flavors of bitters that every home bartender should have. Angostura, obviously. Peychaud's, obviously. Those are the 2. Orange bitters, without a doubt. And then it's black walnut bitters, chocolate bitters, and cherry bitters. We might talk about some other bitters, but we're going to talk about what they are, the history of them, why they're used. And then we'll put together a few cocktails to kind of show their use.
They make such a difference.
Bitters are our life. I mean, you wouldn't cook anything at home without having salt and pepper and
Exactly.
some garlic and some sort of seasoning. Bitters are the seasoning of cocktails.
Yeah.
In fact, I will mention it again on Saturday. The first written definition of cocktail, what defined what a cocktail was spirit, sugar, water, and bitters.
Interesting.
Yes, Peter, you heard correct. Bitters. 6 flavors of bitters that every bartender at home should have. If you want to be here on Saturday, hang out with Corey and I, taste test some cocktails, you are more than welcome.
Absolutely.
And thank you for stopping by today. Hopefully you enjoy some of that stuff. I know I'm going to go home and enjoy some of the things you left behind. So that is it. We're going to wrap it. And yeah, we'll see you guys on Saturday.
Cheers.
That port.
Yeah, that port's awesome too.